Built Different. Thank you for joining us. We've got Keith, my co-host here, and a very special guest, Lucky. How lucky are we to have Lucky?
Honestly, I'm lucky to be here today. So thank you.
Pleasure to have you. Truly. Yeah, appreciate you being here, brother. So we're just getting this started, and man, you're one of our very first few guests. I think you're our second guest. We had Tom on last time when we did that live podcast.
That was so cool.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. That was cool. But yeah, man, we appreciate you being here, and just to kind of give you like some background of how this came to be. So Keith and I, we've known each other for how long?
7 years now.
Oh yeah, wow. Okay.
7 years.
Wow. So
it's been a while.
Keith just got his real estate license and he was looking to join a brokerage, and you knew Gino from the barbershop.
I used to be a barber.
So he's a barber.
I just found it out. Yeah.
So he used to be a barber, and then what ended up happening was, so Gino and I were like at the early stages of trying to start up the DSR group. So Gino told Keith to come meet up with me.
Okay.
So Keith shows up. All blacked out. He's wearing like these gangster outfits, big diamond earrings, shaved head.
It's that time, that generation was like that.
The sharpest beard lineup you've probably ever seen.
Yeah.
Waleed says I had a bunch of chains on. I don't know. I might have had one or two.
You're a barber. You gotta have the sharp.
Of course. You got. Yeah. I didn't read the room that well, but that was my first time. Meeting Waleed. It took some convincing after the fact.
So I met this guy and I called Gino. I'm like, Gino, who the fuck did you send me? This guy looks like he's about to rob me. But yeah, long story short. So that was the first time we met, and then he ended up joining the team. And whenever, like, we just had conversations. Honestly, man, we just kind of like hang out, shoot the shit, 100%. And we would have these phenomenal conversations. And every single time that we did, we were like, I wish we recorded that, or I wish we got that on video, or we got to start up a podcast. 100%. And then one day, finally, when we were upstairs, I was just like, brother, we owe it not only to ourselves, but we owe it to everybody
100%,
else
100%.
out there. And we said we had this vision that we wanted, to bring people that are just killing it, that are like different perspective, that are just built different.
100%.
Right. So
love the name, by the way.
And we thought of you.
We
thought of you.
No, I appreciate that.
So you were there when we did our live podcast. We pretty much introduced what it was, what Built Different was going to be to its audience. And then we were sitting down and talking about some pretty cool people that we would want to feature on here and bring on as special guests. And like, you were definitely a part of that conversation.
I appreciate that.
It's an honor to have you on here, really.
It's an honor to be here, And I think what I like about all you guys and the energy that we all have is that in real estate, everyone thinks we're competitive. Like, everyone's to each his own. But it's not like that. How am I closing deals? How are we closing deals? Through relationships, through realtor to realtor. Getting the clients is one part of the transaction, but closing the deal with the realtor is the main transaction. So when we're coming here, working collectively, talking collectively, that's how we maintain those relationships. That's how we close deals and make it easier for us, not just for us, also for the clients. So I
couldn't agree with you more. I've been doing this for 17 years, and I always say it's better to have friends than enemies, especially 100%. Like during the presentation that we had last time on January, like we had the networking event, and the reason for that was like it takes two to put a deal together.
100%.
So when you're on good terms, or if you have some rapport, some relationship with the agent on the other side, you're working together, not against one another, right? You're working together to put together a deal. 100%. It just makes things so much easier. So I couldn't agree with that more.
No.
And you know what, though? When you're talking about competition, I think like most offices and brokerages right now, they're saying, collaboration is on the front lines over competition. But I started thinking about it, and then I don't want to disregard competition entirely, because I think having a competitive drive
100%
is what makes you want to continue to grow.
Of course.
But I think instead of it being non-competitive, I think it's how you channel that competitive drive.
100%.
Because if I see you succeed and I see what you're doing, you're killing it, how am I, instead of being any type of envious or whatever that may be, how can I use that to inner channel my competitive drive to continue to elevate, and then be so open to collaborate? Because 100%. I love the competition. I still love the friendly, competitive aspect of real estate.
Of course.
At the end of the day, we're all independently owned and operated. We all want to continue to grow our business and succeed. And without that competitive driving factor, I feel like, first of all, the collaboration, I don't think would be to the way we're doing it at this point in time.
100%. For sure.
Because elevating you elevates me.
Yeah.
And every time I see you win,
Yeah.
you know, I want to win
100%.
even more. And then you're going to see that, and it's just going to keep, that's what's going to keep elevating the industry. So I love that. That's kind of what these conversations are facilitated around. It's 100% collaborative, 100% on the fact that deals are done with two amazing agents on each side, working simultaneously and cultivating the results, but also that sense of competition is there. Of
course.
Right? I'm going to, however you deal with me on a deal, I'm going to take that back and I'm going to implement that into my systems.
100%. You
so on and so forth
from each other, right?
Absolutely.
And what I mean by competition, the competition, like obviously when I see another realtor doing better, it just motivates me that I go like, there's something better out there. You can do more. You can do so much out there. But my main competition is only me versus me. Because that's how I see it. Because if like I'm only as good as I was yesterday. That's it, right? Because like end of the day, like because I can't compare myself to other people because their discipline can be different, their motivation can be different, their lifestyle is different. So I gotta create a system that works for me, and that's how I always like. Once you have that click, when you have that switch, and I think that's when you start seeing that drive. That's when, and then everyone else you meet as like a successful entrepreneur, like you guys, you learn from them, right? You don't learn to like how do I beat them. It's about how do I be like them? How do I incorporate those styles into my business to make me better? Elevate, exactly. Yeah.
So let's get to the name. Built Different.
Let's talk about that.
So part of the reasons why you came to mind when we wanted our next guest was because like the way you run your social media is very different than anybody else. It's very different because I was going through your stuff and then I was just like, this is very different than what most typical agents post because you're covering like a broad range of different subjects and some of your videos, you've got like millions and millions of views and hits, and it's just like, okay, all right, this is different. This is built different. So
100%.
What do you attribute that to? How, like, what is it that, you know, causes you to think outside the box and do different things, and just maybe, share and elaborate on that?
Honestly, that's a great question. And if I had to break it down, it's like a two-part answer.
Sure.
First thing, personal branding. And second thing, we're in an industry that's so saturated that we have to do something that makes us unique.
Absolutely.
So personal branding and being unique is what makes you that special realtor. The reason why I kind of talk about my personal life and put myself out there as a realtor, like I'm always, my hat is always a realtor. That's what I am. I'm an entrepreneur. That's my first priority. Like, you know, like when sometimes society might put me as in the category as an influencer, I wouldn't really say I am. I just think by default I fall under one.
Sure.
But I'm always a realtor, right?
Sure.
And the reason why I focus mainly just on like real estate content is because I try to. It could be very boring if everyone does the same thing. Like for example, if you look at any type of realtor content, it's usually house for sale or listed, sold, open house. It's very like generic, right? And it's very repetitive. So what can I do differently that makes me built different as well, right? So that's where I kind of incorporated real estate lifestyle, which kind of makes it a little different from everyone else. So people don't just follow me for my real estate purpose only. They follow my journey. They see where I came from, how I went through. So my background is like I was a probation and parole officer with the Ontario government for almost 10 years. I did that while doing real estate part-time, while trying to figure out the social media game. So you're wearing like 3 hats, right?
Yeah.
And it's not easy to juggle, right? And that's the thing. It takes a toll out of you, but eventually you will have to take that shift and go into full-time, which I did. And once I went into full-time real estate, that's when I realized like, okay, like it's working, right? You have to like play your numbers correctly and see what works and what doesn't work. But why I kind of went in this direction of putting myself out there, making it more open, so people can feel more connected to me. Because I'm just saying, when you think about real estate agents, what's the first stigma? Oh, he's just trying to get a commission check.
Sure.
He's just trying to get the sale. He doesn't care about me. You know, like you got to show that care, right? So when people, like when I put content stuff about my personal life, like stuff like my family and everything, people think, okay, he seems normal. He seems like a human. People need to personalize it, right? Buying a house is probably the biggest financial decision of anyone's life. Probably the most important financial decision.
I would say that it is,
right? And when they do that, what's the most important ingredient for a customer to choose? Is trust. They have to trust you. So what can they do to trust you is when you kind of show yourself on the personal side, they kind of feel they can relate to you, right? Especially I'm a Tamil Canadian. I'm a first generation Tamil Canadian in this country. And a lot of my clients are first generation Tamil Canadians, right? And a lot of first time home buyers are buying a home for the first time. Like some of their parents didn't own a home, right? So I'm helping them navigate from A, B to C to close that deal. So that's why I kind of incorporate my own personal style. I can give you guys a quick story.
Sure, please do.
So
Please
when
do.
I started this whole social media journey, everyone, it was COVID time, right? So I was like 2021. I was just trying to figure out.
So how long had you been a licensed realtor?
Licensed realtor for 5 years.
Gotcha.
But at that point. Okay.
No. As of today, I'm 5 years.
Oh, as of today, you're
Yeah.
okay.
So I was just first year, my first year
was
in
your
real
first
estate,
year,
first year in
got it.
2021.
Sure.
And so like it was like end of 2021. I'm trying to figure out. So I didn't have any friends. I have friends who were entrepreneurs and everything, but everyone already had a realtor. Family members already had a realtor.
Yeah.
They like me, but it's not about trust, it's about comfort, right? They already had, like family members already had their own systems, who they want to go to. So in this situation, I was like kind of stuck. I'm like, okay, what do I do? Like I got my license, I got to figure it out. Door knocking for me, I felt it was a little intrusive. It wasn't my style, right?
Sure.
I know it works for some people and that's great,
Yep.
but it didn't work for me. Cold calling, it didn't work for me. So I'm like, okay, what can I do differently? What can I do to focus on output and let's hope for the best to get the best return of input, right? So that's why I decided to just do TikTok videos. I did a bunch of videos. I did like the most randomest ones. I didn't do the ones like, hey guys, this is a house. My first TikTok video was, well, hey guys, 5 ways to improve your kitchen. That's my first video.
Okay.
That way people can relate to it.
Like real value.
Yeah, real value. And like, hey
Yeah.
guys, 5 things you should do about your furnace before when the winter time comes. Changing the filter. Small little videos like that.
Sure.
It got a lot of attention.
And that was on TikTok?
All on TikTok,
All on
right?
TikTok, okay.
And then one time I got a DM on TikTok. It was some random person. I thought, hey, saw your videos. I'm looking to buy a house. I thought it was spam. I'm
Sure.
like, I ain't gonna respond to this.
I can see why.
Yeah, because like, you know, like, cause like, at the time I only had like 100 followers, right? So like, who am I, right? So then this person emails me. I'm like, oh man, this person's very insistent. And then next thing you notice, she calls the office. You gotta give it to her, right?
Yeah.
And then my broker of records at the time said, you know, Lucky, just give her a call. What's the worst she's gonna say? I'm like, okay. Hey, this is Lucky Paramaguru from TikTok. I got your message from the office. How can I help? The sweetest lady ever.
Oh.
My God. She knew what property she wanted. We put her in an offer, deal closed. That's it. One showing, one offer, done. 3 years later, I always stay in touch. Husband calls me. Husband's like, hey, Lucky, we know there's one property we really want to get. Can you help us get it? No problem. My first commercial real estate property.
Wow.
Put her in an offer, done.
Oh my God.
I have an uncle that I'm still working to find a house. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
And that's the thing, right? Like I never expected that to ever happen. And that's because I think you have to have that mindset. And I think the difference between you can have motivation, but you need to have discipline. I just believed in that something was going to work. I don't know when it was going to work or how it was going to work, but I just knew it was going to work eventually. And then once I learned how it worked, what I did really well is like every time a client will come to me to social media,
Sure.
I'll ask them, hey, what type of video did you like about me that you felt like you need a message? That's how I take down my own data. Instagram, TikTok analytics are great, but the real analytic is what people specifically
Absolutely.
like, right? Because that's what you want to double down on. Because if that's working, double it. And that's what I kind of did. And
Is most of your stuff organic or are you running ads and all that?
most of it, I'll be honest, is organic, right? And that's what kind of helps me a lot. Just because I feel I do, when it comes to like promoting listings, I definitely do this paid ads for that because you want to give it a boost. But I originally go with organic route because once you do the organic route, then I do the boost as well. If it doesn't do well in the beginning, like right away after listing, then I'll just do the paid ads right away. If it does well and builds momentum, I just kind of leave it organically.
So you got your license in 21.
Yeah, 21.
You got your license in 21. You got into like the peak of the market.
Yeah, I got into when the market was amazing, right?
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah.
So you've experienced both sides of the coin.
Yeah. I seen it go from here to how it dropped every
So how
year.
did you pivot?
You know what, man? The craziest thing is like, I think the one quality I had that was different from a lot of other realtors was I had grit. That's what it is. You can have all the motivation, you can have all the discipline, but you need to have grit. You have to be able to always have your hat on when it's raining and always be prepared that you just need to always have that hat on. You know,
Sure.
you have to be able, like if you fall, it's not about like how many times I fall, it's how many times I need to get back up.
Wow.
That's how I see it, right?
The infamous Sylvester Stallone speech.
And to interject,
Yeah, go ahead.
let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about your grit.
Yeah.
Like, take us back. Where does that come from?
You know what? That's a great. I think it was back from school. You know, like when I was in. It's funny that you guys asked that. Like I remember when I was in grade 7. My one sport I was only good at was short distance running sprints.
Okay, you're fast. All right.
That's the one thing.
Let's go.
You guys connect on this.
That was the one thing I can do. So I was going to that school, and it was my first time going to this new school. And I remember there was already these 2 kids who were like the fastest kids in the block, right? In my grade. And then when track and field day came, I just remember, I gotta win. I remember like in my head repetitively saying it to myself, like manifesting in my head, like I'm going to win. And on track and field day, I won. I was the fastest brown kid on the street.
Let's go.
Right? So that's what it was. And I think it's because I really wanted to win. And I think I wired my brain that way, where I said, like, no matter how bad a situation, how tough, I will learn from it. I went through tough times, but instead I'm a strong believer, things don't happen to you, it happens for you.
You said this all the time, right?
Yeah. 100%. That's what it is. And when it happens for you, and everything that happens, every lesson is a blessing. That's how I see it. Like I went through hard times in life, personal stuff, real estate stuff, but you learn from it. And that's the beauty. Like if you cannot see the rainbow on the other end of the sunshine, then it's a patience game.
Yeah.
Like my first year in real estate, like I didn't make much, because I was at a small little brokerage. It wasn't the right fit for me. Then I had to switch to brokerage. Sure. I had to pay these fees and that fees when you're leaving that brokerage.
Okay.
Like I was already starting in a negative perspective.
So did you get into it full time, or were you doing something else?
I was doing it as a part-time gig. I was still working in the government as doing my 9 to 5, right? Because I just wasn't confident enough to go into it full time yet. Because the way how I went in, and I recommend this to a lot of realtors. Not saying you should go into full-time right away, but it depends on your age, right? If you're fresh out of university and you don't have too many liabilities, 100%, I don't see a reason why you should not go.
Yeah.
But if you already have a mortgage, you have this, you need to be prepared. Like you need to have savings ready. You need to have everything ready. You have to have a proper business plan, right? Yeah. Like I got into real estate in my 30s, right? So I wasn't like a 20-year-old young realtor. I was, I was a 30-year-old realtor. Still young, but still not. But I still have adult responsibilities. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I had a mortgage, had this. So that's how I balanced it. So when I got into real estate, my first goal was, I need to make half of what I make in my 9 to 5 in real estate. Then I checked that off. Then the second time, I had to make what I make in real estate. My 9 to 5 and real estate has to be the same amount. Then I checked that off. That was my second year. And then I think my second, I forget, it was second or third, I doubled what I made in my 9 to 5. And I think it was in 2022, I decided, you know what? I'm going to go full time. Just take the chance, Yeah. And then in 2022 is when I got a really good opportunity to meet this one realtor named Ryan Serhant.
I was going to actually bring that up. So
that's what was the switch for me. And it's crazy how it all worked out. I was in the government, fed up. Keep in mind, where I work right now, and when I was working in the government, I was a probation and parole officer. I'm dealing with criminal offenders, sex offenders, domestic violence offenders, you name it. Yeah. I have to take that home, and I also have to make sure I don't take that into my side hustle as well, right? So it's you always are wearing that hat, right? So you got to make sure you, I think real estate, you need to be laser focused.
So what was it about Ryan that made you say, okay, I want to go all in?
Yeah. No, great. So that was a great question. So when I met Ryan, I'll tell you the backstory about that. So I quit my job. And then when I quit my job, I didn't know if it was the right decision. And then Ryan had his giveaway on social media saying, hey guys, you get to be me for one day, create a video and, let me know. And then and my team and I will decide who we're going to decide. Choose.
Okay. I remember that.
Yeah. So then I remember I just quit my job a week ago. I'm like, perfect. If I get this, that means that I was destined to do real estate.
You made the right decision, right?
Right. So I hired my videographer. I'm into anime. I'm a hardcore anime guy. Okay. We did some cool Dragon Ball Z effect where I don't transform into a Super Saiyan, but instead I transform into a suit. I'm in real estate mode. And then I give 3 reasons why Ryan Serhant should hire realtor Lucky Paramaguru. I banged out my reasons, created the script, and I went really hard. And there are a lot of great videos out there. But I just felt like it's back to my grade 7 track and field month. I know I'm going to win. Yeah. I know I'm going to win. I'm going to get that call. And next thing you notice, I think a week later, I don't hear anything from anyone. I'm like, oh, great. I guess nothing happened. They don't put anything on social media updates. Then I get a message from one of his team members saying, hey, Lucky, you're one of the final applicants. We did like your video, but our team member has to go through some screening. So are you able to call us at this time? I'm like, cool, no problem. I'm like, hey, listen, this is still a great experience, right? Thinking team member at the time, I'm thinking someone from Ryan's team, his admin person or someone. Next thing you notice, I'm like talking to this person.
Yeah.
I say, hey, Lucky, so we liked your video. I'm gonna give it to our team lead. It's Ryan Serhant. I bawled. I cried. I'm like,
sure.
He doesn't know what I had to go through for all this. Right?
Yeah,
He's like, dude,
yeah.
man, just calm down, man. You're good. You're gonna come here and we're gonna meet up and talk. And it's this energy. That's what it is. So when that's your question, like when I met him, what I learned, you have to have grit. And that's what he taught me. Like, the work-life balance is going to be impossible almost. You have to be super successful in real estate. You're going to have to put all your focus on real estate. And that's one thing I learned. And that's why I'm fortunate to have a partner who understands that. Like being an entrepreneur, not everyone is built different. Like, we're really built different, right? Because like you have to understand, like my calls, like I can put it in silent for like maybe like an hour, but I can't leave. My phone turned off is a nightmare.
Oh,
like, you know what I mean? Like I can only imagine for you as well, being like running a brokerage and everything, how important it is, right? And that's why like your focus is always gonna be on real estate, but your family, your friends, and everything. Like, I mean, this is how I treat it, and I'm not saying this is the right way.
Sure.
It's second for me. That's what it is. I believe in God first. I put God first.
Yes.
Then it's real estate. Then I put my fitness. I usually it depends fitness or real estate, but like it's really my bread and butter, because the way I see it, if I'm not doing well financially and I'm not being able to provide for my team,
right?
Everything is affected. How do I provide for my family? How do I provide for my fiance? How do I provide for my wife, like my mom and everyone? Like that's what I think of it as. Mm-hmm. That's what works for me now. Like keep in mind, like to each his own. And I see how Ryan's schedule is. He's so structured.
So what was that day like?
So I'll tell you. So we go with him, I meet him. He gives me a whole rundown about what it takes to be a real estate agent. He has to tell you. He wants to get to know me first, which is really nice. Like I didn't think it was. I thought they had a whole.
So there were 3 of you there?
No, just me.
Just you.
Oh, just me. So yeah. So the whole thing about the finalists, it wasn't any finalists. It was just me. He just wanted to get my reaction. Their team is good. Like, they got me to cry. So like, they're good. They're good. So it was just one. It was just they already decided it was me, but they just wanted to like get me. Like they want to surprise me, right?
Sure.
So when I met Ryan, he was amazing, very humble, like, just like a tall guy, like really kind and everything. And then it was like a very short conversation with him in the beginning. Then I had an individual meeting with one of his marketing strategists. And at that time, I had my Instagram handle as like Live Lucky or something like that. And then she told me right away, listen, Lucky, we went through Instagram. They actually debriefed and did like a digital review of my
You got the social audit.
Yeah. And they told me, listen, like, we like your videos, but there's no call to action. There's no this. Like they ripped me apart. And I loved it because I wanted that criticism. And then they told me right away, your Instagram handle should be Lucky Paramaguru. It shouldn't be Live Lucky, because right away I think it's live or it is alive. I don't know what it is. I'm like, no problem. I changed the name right away. It's Lucky Paramaguru. That's it.
Yeah.
And then even told me like my real estate team name shouldn't be Live Lucky. It should be something incorporating your name. Like think of the Serhant team. It's like, so I said the Lucky Group. That's our team name. Like I kept it very simple, and they really explained it to me well. And then I met with another, I believe it was a financial institution person who talked about the numbers, how to make sure you have money aside for this, have money aside for that, how to create your day, how to have a super structure. Like even I met Ryan's personal assistant, and he told me how Ryan has something from 9 a.m. to like 9:20. He has something, and say that 9:20 p.m. gets delayed and it has to go on, he won't let that delay. He'll go on to the next appointment. He'll just push it to the next following day. Yeah. He does not let it affect. He has something to do every single minute. He's so calculated in how he spends his day. And in terms of how he balances with his family life, I remember he'll see his daughter in the morning, take her to school, and at night he's there to put her to bed. That's all the time he has. Yeah. And that's the type of discipline. And his wife knows that, his daughter knows that. And it's a lot of work, It's like, it's not easy to what we do, right? And I think that's why we have to be built different, right? Not everyone understands that. But when I met Ryan, the one thing he did teach me is that there's a world out there, man, that's bigger than we all can expect. Like, I think we all put ourselves in this bubble thinking like, if I make 100K, 200K, I'm happy, I'm happy. And listen, it's still a lot of money, but when you're making millions, billions, and the amount of network, the connections, like there's a life out there. Like we are so fortunate to be doing this job because we can make zero money or infinite, but it's all up to us. And that's what we control, the output of our capability. That's why I always, like, when you ask me like the videos and everything, I'm posting anything, but it has to. But the great thing when you're posting anything, you control the narrative.
Sure.
You can focus on what you want to show, what you don't want to show, and you control that brand. And that's what Ryan told me. He's like, your brand is everything. People come to me because they trust me. People come to me, they ask me questions because they trust me. Like even right now, I did a proposal photos on one of my Instagram photos and stuff like that, put on my feed. And one of my leads, like that kind of went quiet for a while. I think maybe like 6 months later, I think the lead died. And then I think 6 months or a couple of months after my proposal, she messaged, hey, Lucky, I saw your proposal photos. So happy for you. We're actually ready to buy a house now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you never know what's going to happen. And people say, oh, you shouldn't put yourself out there. I agree. Like there is evil eye and everything. It's not meant for everyone, like you have to be understanding that like you're going to have to take the fire and you have to take the positive and the negative when you're putting yourself out there on social media. You can't take it personal. There's going to be trolls. There's going to be haters.
And one of the things that you said, said door knocking and you wasn't for me. Cold calling and you wasn't for me. But you knew what was for you.
Yeah.
And, whenever I'm meeting with all the agents here at the brokerage, we figure out what works for them because what's necessarily going to work for Keith is not going to work for me. What's going to work for me is not going to work for you.
Exactly.
And I just found from my 17 years of being in this industry, I think I've been around at 5 brokerages. Everybody uses the same cookie cutter approach.
Yeah.
It's like cold call, door knock, conversations, farm. It's just so basic. But the market that we're in right now, like you've got to be creative. You've
100%.
got to think outside the box because like, as you said, it's so saturated.
Yeah.
How are you going to set yourself apart?
I agree.
And it seems like you found what works for you.
Yeah.
But I think everybody can figure out what works for them.
And I think that's the beauty about being an entrepreneur. And I think we're in the world of digital space where AI and everything. And now people are trying to do, there's so much out there. People are so scared of AI right now. I'm not. I use ChatGPT to help my business plan.
Sure.
It's about how you utilize it, right?
Absolutely.
I do see the real estate game for real estate agents changing the next 5 to 10 years, but I don't think it's changing in a negative way. It can only change in a negative way if we take it as a negative way.
Sure.
I see it's all about your own perspective and how you want to see it. Right.
So what do you think is going to change in 5 years while we're on that subject?
You know what, man? It's so hard to say, right? But I can see, like a lot of these like maybe more digital brokerages like EXP, like stuff like that, opening up more and thinking that people are going to get leads from like AI leads and all that stuff. But you got to ask yourself this, like, and someone's going to give you a lead, right? Like a $20,000 lead. There's always a catch behind it.
Sure.
How genuine is that lead compared to someone who actually who messaged you saying, hey, I saw your video. I liked how your strategy works, how you listed this video and how you sold the house. That's a personal connection.
Yeah.
I think the strong realtors will stay in the game as long as you build that connection, as long as you're a people person, right? But the ones who think they can do everything through AI and do this and do that, like I don't have to be at the house like a AI version of me can be there. Yeah. No, because at the end of the day, my clients are who's moving to the house. It's not artificial intelligence; it's a real life person. So that's important. People need to understand that, right? And I think if you have that human connection and that human intellect and like. I think that's what's going to set you apart from AI. Right?
Yeah, I can agree with you more. One of the things that we always say is, this isn't a B2C with business to consumer business. This isn't a B2B. This is an H2H, a human to human,
100%.
Right? And I couldn't agree with you more. I think with AI, I feel like it's just a tool. It's going to be a tool. So the people that know how to use that tool, they're going to dominate. So they're just going to be able to do so much more with less effort.
Of course.
Better automation, better communication. I use AI right now just to spark ideas for creativity. Like, what do you usually use it for?
I use it mainly for my like scripts, so like my listings and this and that. But I mainly use it as a form of a personal assistant. I have ChatGPT Premium. I talk to it and like, hey, chat, tell me what's happening today. What's my schedule? Like, what do you think I have? What do I need to do? Like, right now it's my personal trainer as well. I write everything. I put, this is what I ate today. This is how much I
give you your macros and everything.
Everything. And it's telling me
100%.
all, and it even gives you a digital version how you can look from 25% body fat to 15% body fat.
Wow.
It's very, I'm very involved in this person. Like this chat and I are best friends.
Same. I'm not gonna lie.
I even say thank you to chat in the conversation because I seen the movie. iRobot, I don't want to mess with it. No. So like,
that'll end badly.
Yeah. So, I think it's like you said, it's a tool and how you use it, right? And like, you don't think of it as a tool that's replacing you. It's a tool that's enhancing you.
It's enhancing you for sure.
Yeah.
Like the way the world evolves, it just keeps on evolving faster and faster and faster. The next 5 years, I think we're going to see as much change as we've seen in the past 15 years.
I would agree with you.
It is going to be absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, like both.
And I'll tell you right now, even though it's a tough market right now, but it's a great, great buyer's market. Builders are working with realtors now, like more than ever before. Like certain builders wouldn't even work with us. Now they're like calling us.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because there's so much business to be made, but the question is, how can you promote it? And you want to make sure you promote something like a good product. And that's why I think that's what our industry needs to get better at. It's like, we're always promoting what every other realtor is promoting, but you want to promote a product that you truly believe in, that that it's going to see that return. And that's why I think the whole farming and stuff does work for some realtors. Like, even like myself, like I like to stick with the GT, like mainly the Durham region, like Pickering, Ajax. That's where all my business is. So I'm going to specialize in that, right? I'm not going to go somewhere too far, but I never discriminate. My license covers all of Ontario. Yeah. So I've done deals in Niagara Falls, Ontario.
I was in Lindsay yesterday.
I will go. I will not say no, because the way I see it, because we don't know where our next paycheck is coming from. So, and also all our clients, where they live in the GTA. So even if they own an investment property, they still live in the GTA.
Sure.
So that's how I see it. I think building relationships is the most important thing. I think that's one of my superpowers is when I meet someone, I always like to make sure they get to know who I am. We exchange contacts, and I always let them know, hey, listen, like if you have any questions about real estate, let me know. I'm here to help. Keep it simple, right? Like when you come in saying that, if you're looking to buy, let me know, I'll help you. Or if you're looking to sell, let me know, I can help you. Don't say that. If you have any questions about real estate, just certain words and phrases that we could say better, that it doesn't sound like a salesperson,
And one of the things, if you remember when I was speaking on stage last month, I was saying like this year, 2026, we're getting out of sales, we're getting into service.
100%.
Nobody likes to be sold. Like nobody. Like that old 1980 styles, of selling. Like
I agree.
It doesn't work anymore. Like the consumers have a lot more education, a lot more data. They probably have a lot more data and insight than a lot of the agents do. Because
my clients are probably more qualified than me. Yeah. The only difference is like we have to show our skill and like why it has value. Like we have to go to inside analytics, like not the analytics of how Sigma and MLS shows, like inside analytics, and that's what an experienced realtor can provide.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you speak to any super successful person, if you ask them, what's the best investment that you can make? They always say the best investment that you can make is in yourself.
100%.
So as you're evolving your skills and becoming a better communicator, better negotiator, just evolving your skills as a realtor.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to have that competitive edge, and you're going to actually be able to be of service, because the bar is just going up and up and up. I remember when I first got into real estate, like a lot of the listings just had like maybe the front photo. They didn't even put interior photo. Staging wasn't the thing.
No.
Videos wasn't the thing. Like now, like the service is just leveling up. So it's going to be pretty cool to see where things go in the next few years.
Yeah. If you don't mind asking, what's your story? How did you get into real estate? I know you say 17 years. Like you look so young. Like what's your secret and like keeping you drive and like running this brokerage today? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, I got into it very young. I was like in my early 20s, and I had no other choice.
Okay.
Like. I didn't finish high school, so I was like, okay, what am I going to go to? And then I tried to go to college just as an adult. I registered as an adult, and I did marketing for, I think it was about 6 months. And I said, this is not for me. Like I need to get into sales. And I knew I wanted to be into sales. At that time I was working at a company called Future Shop. I don't know if you remember.
Oh my God. Yeah. I used to live right across from it.
Okay.
Yeah. I know really well.
So the old Best Buy. I was in sales. So I knew what commissions was all about. I was like, okay, the best thing about commissions is that there's no ceiling. I remember at Future Shop, working part-time, like this is like 20 years ago. I was making like 40 grand at that time,
That's
which
amazing.
was insane.
That's a lot of money.
And that was like a lot of people's full-time salary. Was, doing
it's probably a lot of people's household salary,
Yeah, exactly. So I knew, I was like, okay, it's got to be something in commission. So I ended up getting my license, and the first brokerage that I joined, I told you upstairs, it was Home Life Today.
Yeah.
And I went there just because I knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody.
Yeah.
And the top agent in my office at that time was doing around 6 or 7 transactions a year.
Wow.
So I remember doing my first deal with a buddy of mine. His name is Adam Farr. So he was working out on a team here in Durham, because Home Life Today was in Scarborough.
Okay.
And my first deal I did with him, and I remember just on the phone pacing back and forth, just catching up, how's life, how's things. And just sharing with him that this was my first deal. And I asked him, so how are things going for you? And I remember this being around summertime, and he's like, oh, I'm at 7 deals. And I was like, oh, you're already at 7 deals for the year, and you still got another 6 months to go. And he's like, no, 7 deals this month. Oh. And I was like, brother, you got to get me on that team.
Yeah.
So literally the next day I went and I joined.
Good for you.
I joined his team, and he was working at the Dan Plowman team at that time. So I stayed there for 3 years, and I would say my first year, I think I did around, it was 40 transactions.
Amazing.
And it was all because of the systems and the training and the environment. If I had stayed at Home Life Today, where the top agent was doing 7 deals, that would have been my bar. But because I put myself in an environment where you have to do a minimum of 24 deals per year, otherwise you're fired. That was the rules. Like, it forces you, just raise that bar.
It holds you accountable.
And then it would have taken me 15 years to learn what I did.
That's amazing.
In 3 years on that team, just because of the systems, the presentations, the scripting. It was honestly one of the best training. And the reason why we brought Revel into the market here in Durham region was because it was the best of both worlds, where you get that team style, like as if you're part of the team, training and mentorship and accountability and coaching, but you get to build your own brand identity.
I like that.
You know, when I left that team, like, you got to start from zero again.
Yeah.
Like, you got to start from zero. You don't bring your clients. There's non-competition, non-solicitation agreements in place and all that. And you're basically starting from square one. So this was just kind of like, okay, let's provide that guidance, let people build their own brand identity, and it brings the best of both worlds. And luckily I got 2 good partners, Gino and Doug Gordon, who have a ton of experience. And March 6th is going to be our first year anniversary.
Yeah, wow.
Man.
That came by pretty quickly, eh?
March 6th, wow.
March 6th. You recall?
I do. Yeah, this is kind of going on my full year here now. So it's been quite an experience, I gotta say. And talking about environment, what's your environment like? Like, what keeps you having consistently high energy?
You know what, man? I have to say, I come from a really, and it might sound cliche, but I come from a really very humble upbringing. It's like my mom and dad are the most nicest and kindest people out there. Awesome. They dedicated their whole life for their kids. You know, when my dad came to this country, didn't know any English, knew nothing. He just worked in the factory, and he just wanted my mom to go to school so she can learn the language and she can get.
How old were you when you came here?
I came here, I was like 4 or 5.
Okay.
Right. So my English is like, I picked it fast, but I was a kid, right?
Sure.
I seen the struggle.
I came around the same time.
Yeah.
Around 5 years old, I came from Afghanistan.
Yeah. So I came from Sri
We're all
Lanka.
immigrants in here?
We're all immigrants.
Are you?
Yeah, I came here when I was 2.
Okay.
Look at us.
So you've seen it all, right?
Yeah, I know exactly
Do you
what
guys
you're
have
talking about.
siblings?
I'm an only child.
Okay, so
I've got a younger brother.
Okay, so this is the thing.
Yeah.
When I was born, I saw my dad driving a TTC, not having anything, right? Sure. And then when my brother was born 6 years later, my dad has a car.
6-year gap? So do I.
Yeah. So my dad has a car. We have a place. Yeah. So my brother does not know the struggle that he had to go through. So there's a difference.
I understand.
In what we are like how we're built different. You know, I've been from I'm like the real
trenches.
I'm like Drake before he was OVO Drake. I was like starting from the bottom, and then he did not know that struggle, right? And that's why I think you ask yourself, like, the question is like, what's your drive? What's your system? It's because I knew what it feels to have nothing, and I don't like that feeling. I want to have, and I believe this world could be an ordinary life if you choose it, or it can be an extraordinary life if you choose it. And I choose extraordinary. So I don't know what I have to do, what I need to do, but I just know I have to stay positive no matter how bad things get to you.
Sure.
You have to see the sunshine in every rainbow. If you think there's nothing out there and this transaction didn't grow, okay, I don't let a bad day turn into a bad week. I don't let a bad week turn into a bad month, I don't turn a bad month into a bad quarter. That's what I see.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah, man.
It is all about perspective.
And just because something is so bad, something that happens so bad, there's an equal good on it.
100%.
Right? Everything has to be balanced. So it's all about perspective. If you want to look for the lesson in it, you're going to find it. If you're going to want to be a victim and look at, the excuses for it, you're going to find it, right? It's all about perspective. And I think that's probably like when we first shot our episode 1, we asked ourselves, well, what does built different mean to you? Like, how would you define built different? I would say that it would just be perception, like how you view things.
Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. And you're so intrinsically motivated when it comes to that. Your frequency is always high.
I have to. I have like a mom who's like almost in retirement, a dad who's already retired. Like I'm taking care of all of them, So I have a fiance who supports me and who believes in me. So I feel like I have a lot of people who rely on me, and I feel like the only thing I could do is focus on output. So I try to wake up early in the morning, go to the gym, create a structure, follow up with my clients, and close the deals. That's it.
By the way, did you watch his proposal video?
Yeah, it was incredible, man.
Oh, thank you.
Incredible.
Yeah, you have to be relentless, man, in anything in life. Even
how much planning actually?
Let me tell you the story, guys. Sure. Okay, it was probably like a good 2 months planning, and 1 month it just took me to convince the video guy to do the video. He's like, I'm fully booked. I only do weddings. I don't do proposals. And I specifically. So
you found him online?
I found him, yeah. Okay. So I found him through another videographer I know, and he recommended me to because he's really good in Paris, and he knows the type of content I'm looking for. He's very unique. So I'm like, okay, let me try to reach out. I reached out to him. He gets back to me 2 weeks later. He's like, hey, I'm really busy, but I appreciate the opportunity. But I'll let you know. We're in real estate. I'm in sales. We're following up. One thing I learned from Ryan Serhant, you follow up until one person dies. You are done. If they say no, it's no. But he never said no. So I followed up. And he's like, hey, I don't usually do, proposal videos. I don't do weddings. I'm like, no problem. I pitched him an idea. Listen, this is your first international proposal. We do this as a collaborative post. My viewers are your viewers. Your viewers are my viewers. It's a collective agreement. It's let's work together. Then had to convince him, and then he's like, okay. After a month, he's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. I went on his schedule. I worked everything around based on his schedule. Because he was really tight. I think he was coming from Japan, literally the day before. That's how tight his schedule was. So I had to plan everything around him. I found the vendor on Instagram, and that's the thing beautiful about Instagram these days, and social media. You can find everything out there. So there's an agency that does the decor, does everything for you. All I had to do is, this is actually the same suit I wore for the proposal.
Oh, yeah. We are honored.
Yeah. So, I want to bring that energy here, right? And I did all of that. And then it was a good 2 months of planning. And the hardest part is making sure the fiance does not know this is happening. Yeah. I told her we're going there to see my family because I have extended family.
Did she have any idea?
No, nothing.
Right up to that
Maybe at that point she had a feeling because the person's blindfolding you. And then at that point she's like, well, and then I told her we're going to my cousin's house, right? And then she's like, why is your cousin doing this weird stuff? I'm like, he's weird, so he's French, they blindfold people. So that's how they do stuff down there, right? Right? Because the person the agency, she's also giving me a blindfold. I don't really wear it, right? I just pretend to wear it. So then we go in, and next thing you know, boom, she didn't see anything happening. And then I loved how the videographer mic'd me up. I didn't even plan this. This is what I like. You want to choose someone who's very creative. And so he mic'd me. He captured certain moments that I didn't know. I was emotional. She was emotional. It was cinema. Simple as that. And then the business worked out. We got a lot of exchange of shares and views.
I saw you got almost 10 million views on that.
Yeah, I don't know how many views. I don't think it was 10 million.
I saw 7 point something.
It was 7,000 shares. That was insane. I never thought people share it that much. I guess people are really invested in my life, That's how I see.
Well, no, that was a pretty good video.
Yeah, it was a good video. And I think that's what
he captured that moment.
He did an amazing job. I will give him all the credit for that. And that's what I told him. And it gave him that exposure too. And that's why I really believe in a equivalent exchange, eye for an eye. When you really show someone that real service, they'll give it back in return. And he showed that, right? And then the photos came out great. So I think.
So was he happy with it at the end?
He was super happy because I never followed up with it, but I'm pretty sure he got business.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm hoping he does, and it just it promotes his brand as well. And I'm a strong believer in that. Like, why am I here today? I want everyone to work together,
Synergy,
right?
man.
Yeah, that's what it matters, right? Like, we're all here to one reason, to service our clients, like we're just like a service provider. We're like essential services. Everyone needs a house. You know what I mean? We think about
like
it.
you said, during COVID, we were one of the very few industries that was.
I miss it, man. We were the only ones driving on the road.
Yeah.
The DVP was empty.
Oh, I remember, driving downtown and back.
Yeah.
The road was like
20 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
The good old days.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Man, shoot.
I wanted to ask you a really quick question. I'll touch on systems. You've had time to grow. Now you have a team. And could you talk a little bit about what your day-to-day looks like with your team? What kind of systems you've implemented that help you maintain your growth?
So it's a great question. So what helped me a lot to kind of like expand as the years go by, I think, like when you're working out and stuff like that, like you always want to, it's called progression overload, right? You can't be the same place where you were last year, because if you're not, then you're just doing the same thing, right? So when I first started, it was just me. And then my little brother, he decided to get his real estate license, and, my mom kind of pushed him. So that's one team member he can't leave, because then my mom's not going to feed him after. Right?
Yeah.
So that's one. And then my other colleague, Shakidia, she reached out to me from social media. She is really a genuine conversation. She's like, hey, I really like the way you post your content. And can you give me some advice and tips? I gave him my advice and tips. Next thing you notice, an idea came in my head. I'm like, would you want to join my team? Like, that's when it came. Like, it literally is like, you're creating a team. Like, you know what? I like her energy too. And then we created a team, and it was called the Lucky Group, and then we try to do at least like once every 2 weeks or at least once a month team meetings, holding each other accountable and trying to like see what I can do. And this is where I kind of specialize as a team leader. It's like everyone has their unique strengths.
Sure.
Not everyone's meant to do door knocking. Not everyone's even meant to do videos. You got to do what makes you feel confident, right? But in our team, like, you got to do videos. That's because what worked for me.
Sure.
Right. And that's why you are talking to me today. It's for the videos, right? And so Shakira does a lot of content right now. She's always posting. As a team leader, I make sure I see her content, give her my feedback, and she's excelling in that space. And that's what I like. That's what I want to see, because 5 years from now, 10 years from now, even if we're not here, our videos are still here. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure. It's a digital print, right? So I try to do that as part of my schedule, making sure I have team meetings as much as I can. We have like in-house office training that my brokerage also offers, which I try to attend to that as well. But mainly, man, it's just follow-up. That's what it is. And like, I always try to like look at my videos, see what did well, which one gives me leads, try to mimic similar type of videos to that, and just do follow-ups on that. That's my main focus in my business. It's just,
there's a great saying that the fortunes and the follow-up.
Yeah, and that's what, right now I'm in the game for almost 5 years. I think I'm going to 6 now. And what I learned is like, now like my Instagram leads are not as high as before, but it's steady, which I prefer. Sure. And now it's a lot of repeat business. So my previous Instagram clients are referring to me, and that's what it is, right? Yeah. And now I'm just more focusing on community, like how to reaching out to the community and stuff like that, focusing on farming, because now I'm in a position where I'm more comfortable, where I can expand more and do other things while doing the videos as well.
So, quick thing. Part of the reason why Keith and I started this was we were doing it for the Waleed that got into the business 17 years ago, for the Keith that got into the business 8 years ago. So my issue, but there was no guidance at that point. I was sharing with you, it was like a fish out of water. So I was like, okay, we just want to bring in different perspectives, different ideas, different agents that are just killing it at different levels, so that, there's that clarity there, there's that vision, there's that guidance, right? So if you were to go back to 2021, when you just got your license, what would you share with yourself?
I would have done a lot of more interviews with different brokerages, right? I think that's super important, because I think every agent just goes to that family friend or this and that. Yeah. But always understand that every brokerage has different incentives. Sure. And every brokerage needs you more than you need them. So always make sure that you're going to a brokerage that doesn't give you the most value. And I think as a young realtor, especially I was like 21 going into it, because especially if you're an introverted person, like I'm an introverted person, but in sales you cannot. No. Like I'm extroverted when I'm sales, but back home I'm introverted. I hear you. That's what you have to be able to talk.
You know what's actually interesting? Sorry, just to go on. So socially, I just read this article somewhere. I forgot where it was, but basically it was saying something along the lines of, the people that are the most extroverted on social media are typically the most introverted.
1,000%.
at home.
100%.
1,000%.
100%. Even Ryan Serhant is like that too. He's like, I'm so introverted. We don't we do it not because we have to. We have to do it. That's the reality, right?
Yeah.
But it's also like we're able to put on a switch. Now it's a switch for me. Like, okay, now we got to turn on the switch.
I think that's what it is.
It is what it
Would you say
is.
you're introverted?
I would say I'm definitely more introverted than I am, but when it comes to this and building your brand and your business,
exactly,
it's almost like it's non-negotiable.
But now it's more organic. Now it's not like it's not forced as much as before. I'm not trying to fake. This is who I am. I'm genuinely being who I am right now, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing I do. Making sure I choose a brokerage that actually is going to give me the right value and stuff like that. And I think there's so much to learn, despite the videos and everything. Like like the scripts, like you were saying, you were part of a really good team that held you guys accountable. I think that's what you want to be part of. A brokerage, and I think what you guys are doing right here in this brokerage today, I can see that you have a community, you have a beautiful dog who's going straight. Like that is the camera guy has to show that, that's what you want, right?
For sure.
Like, and it's not just it's an office environment, it's like a family, It
actually is.
Camaraderie.
Yeah.
It is and I was actually talking to Victoria yesterday. Yeah. And Victoria's one of the agents here, and we were just kind of looking around, and in that moment, I was like, this doesn't feel like a brokerage. She was on our Wednesday training meeting because she was doing farming 101. So she was basically teaching all the agents what she does that's taken her business to like incredible numbers. And her thing is farming. So typically every Wednesday what we do is we get somebody that will, like Keith did a buyer presentation.
Amazing.
Phenomenal conversions with that. We had Rajiv who did the listing presentation. So every week we get somebody else that just does a presentation on what they specialize in.
Amazing.
Basically, so we were just kind of looking around. We're like, this actually feels like a family. It doesn't feel like.
And that's how you kind of want, right? You want to be a family, a team, holds you accountable. And like what you were talking about, we are competitive. So when I see someone doing well, like what can I do to do just as well, right?
Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. What can I do to do just as well, right? Yeah. And I think that's going back to your earlier question, what can I do to be a better agent and stuff like that? Finding which brokerages will give you the best training.
Sure.
That I think that's the most important, because without proper training, you don't have no direction. No direction. It's like you have a map, but no one tells you how to use the map. But what's the point of having the map? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So training and mentorship, like it's so important. And I couldn't agree with you more. Just to go back to what we were saying, you're a byproduct of your environment. For a new agent that's getting into this industry, whether they've been doing it for a year or just brand new, like you got to put yourself in those environments where they set the bar, where people are busy, people are working. If people aren't showing up to the office and it's a ghost town, or there's lack of training or just even leadership, you're a byproduct of your environment. You're going to be failing. Like you saw the stats, half the agents in our industry last year,
gone.
0 transactions.
Exactly. Yeah.
0 transactions. So to you, like to finish this off, because I think we're approaching our
This is like, it didn't even feel like a podcast. It's like
it's just
a conversation, I love it. Yeah,
that's actually the idea. I think back to how we started. It was just genuine conversation.
Yeah,
and then we had like a hiatus where I went to another brokerage. When I came back to Rebel, it was just us sitting upstairs for 45 minutes, just talking like this.
Amazing.
And that's when we were like, oh shit, we should have recorded that. So I think that's this kind of frame that we're trying to have here, is just genuine connections.
I agree.
Genuine conversation, because like there's so much value in that.
Yeah.
And I say a lot of times, sometimes the best tidbits I get in real estate are just me grabbing a coffee and running into somebody in the office.
100%.
Right? But that said, we're going to run into 10 rapid fire questions.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's do this.
We're going to start off with this. So number one trait that you think destroys careers.
Negative mindset.
Negative mindset.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. One habit every serious agent must build.
Grit.
Grit.
You need it.
I feel like that's a very good theme of the conversation with you. And a ton of respect for everything you said about it. Biggest lie agents tell themselves.
Oh, what do you say? I think
you're gonna get scrutinized.
So I don't even know what to say. One more time. Repeat the question one more time. Biggest lie agents tell themselves. At least in your I think it's like saying, I'll do better next year. right? And I'll say why, because the year hasn't even done yet. Focus on now. Don't focus on the next year. Focus on today.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not saying some do better next year, but it's like it's a saying behind it. You know, like you are gonna do better now. And I think that's the thing. When you say you're gonna do better next year, why are you focusing on next year? I focus on I remember my professor. I'll tell you one thing. Yeah. My professor told me one time, history is a mystery. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today's the present.
Yeah.
So focus on today.
And I always bring up this documentary.
Yeah.
The Last Dance, Chicago Bulls. Have you seen it?
Yes, the Michael Jordan one. Yeah.
So I watch it every year.
Yeah.
And it's funny because if you say delayed success, winning, I'll wait for next year, it's actually a losing mindset.
100%.
Because there was a time where they were trying to continuously lose to get a better draft pick to continue to do better in the future. But
it's a lose mentality, like you know.
You're creating a losing culture.
Exactly.
So by focusing on the present, ultimately you're creating a winning, successful culture today.
Today.
I love that.
Just focus on today. You don't have to worry about next year. I don't even know if I'm gonna be alive next year. I want to focus today. You know what I mean?
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
That's actually so powerful. That's so powerful. And I have my notes right here. Listings or buyers if you had to choose one.
I always use listings. Yeah. I think that's the thing. I know I understand people might think the commission might be less than listing depending on what your commission split with the seller is, but listings when people know when you sell, right? And I think you get more leads out of it, just more marketing out of it, just more out of it. A buyer.
There's a saying, list to last.
List to last, exactly, right? And I think people know you as a listing agent. They don't know you as a buyer agent, right? They're both important, but listings always first priority.
Listings attract buyers.
100%. You can attract buyers. They see that, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Best investment you ever made?
Yourself. Yeah. It has to be yourself.
And
choosing your right partner.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's like probably the most important decision you have to make in your life because it can either elevate your business or de-elevate your business, right?
Sure. Got it.
Yeah.
I hope your answer is the same for this question. Worst investment you ever made?
Oh man. You know what? I think the worst investment I ever made was not choosing the right brokerage right away. I think because when you choose the wrong brokerage, like keep in mind, like I was telling you earlier, every lesson's a blessing. But sometimes I could have, if I started younger, if I started in the right environment, I probably would have been 10 times more in business. You know what I mean? So I think that's why choosing the right brokerage, because I think your time is also your money.
It's so important. Part of the theme of that event that we hosted was momentum.
Yeah.
Right? That compounding effect, that penny that doubles every day. On day 21, it's $10,000, but in 10 short days, it goes to 10 million. So the sooner you find what works for you, the sooner you find the environment that you're meant to be in and where there's growth happening, that growth is going to compound. Like you don't have unlimited time, right? It's very limited. So if you want to experience the summit of it, the pinnacle of it, like the sooner you start, the better for
100%.
Cool. Great. The skill that made you the most money?
Ooh, I think, believe it or not, I think it's charm. Right? I think end of the day, like I'm not saying because I'm lucky, I'm a lucky charm or something like that. I think charm is like being able to connect with people, right?
Sure.
Like I think not every, like people might think charming is a quality whether you have it or not, but I think it's something you can learn. Because like when you're charismatic, people feel more comfortable talking to you and stuff like that, right? And then the rest is just being you and being organic, right?
It makes everything easy.
Makes it easier, man. When you're so like sales, like we're talking like sales, no one wants to work with you, right? Just like this, they know your intention. They can read through you, right?
What you bought with your first commission check?
Oh, I think I remember this. I think I bought my mom a handbag, a Michael Kors. Yeah. yeah. It was a Michael Kors. Yeah.
I gotta make a stop.
What did you buy?
What did I buy? That's a really good question, man. I think I bought a tank of gas or something.
Yeah. Listen, man, it's a thought what counts. Thought what counts, man. Moms don't ask much. It's just as long as you take care of them, you remember them, call them every morning. That's it, man. Like she's my coach. She calls me, what did you do today? I'm like, I did this. Did you follow up on this client? Did you follow up? She's my coach, literally. Like she's always holding me accountable.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And we can wrap it up here with, let's define in your words, built different in one sentence. What does it mean to you?
I think built different in one word
In one sentence.
In one sentence.
Or just give us your.
Yeah. You know, I think consistency. It's no matter how bad times are, how good times are, you gotta stay consistent. You always have to stay consistent. Because even right now in this market, it's not the greatest, but you still have to do something. Gotta be consistent, right? I'm not gonna let the market dictate my success. I dictate my own success. So you have to be consistent. If that makes sense. I'm not sure if it does, but yeah.
I think when you say consistent, like that equals grit.
Yeah,
so it
that's
takes
all
you
it
back
is.
to the word.
Yeah, 100%. You know?
100%. I think that's the key to getting exponentially better every single day.
Yeah.
And then in a whole 365, you look back and you're a whole new person.
Also, I'd like to add one more thing. This is one anime quote I learned is that you have to sacrifice your old self to be the better version of who you want to be tomorrow. So it's like, and that's what it's saying. You always have to like, so everything you learn, if that transaction didn't go well, the offer presentation didn't go well, that person's gone. That's a memory. Now use that as fuel and build a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
And we end the show with build different.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to make the announcement for September 24th. So for all of you guys that are listening right now, we're going to break some news right now. This is the first time that we're actually making this public announcement. September 24th, I am going to be bringing Daniel G, the #1 sales coach in the world right now.
Amazing.
And our second keynote is Tatiana Landano from Montreal, Quebec, who's the #1 social media marketing agent here to Toronto, September 24th. And we're going to be hosting a panel of legends, a panel of just phenomenal young guns that are destroying the game right now to help you guys elevate your businesses, inspire you and fire you. So this is going to be Toronto's biggest and baddest sales and marketing event for 2026. So we will be announcing the details soon, but it's coming September 24th. And hope to see you there.
Oh, for sure.
Man.
For sure. Thank you so much, guys.
Perfect. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. That was so kind of you to share your time with us.
Oh, no, I appreciate you guys sharing your knowledge and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to just hanging out and shooting the shit.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was close.
Right on time, too. Perfect.